By predicting the future, you'll be able to build a business around that future. With all the devastation that's hitting our economy, I thought I'd predict some more positive news for 2021. You can see down here in Camden, look at all these shops that have closed. I hope we can bring business back, but one of the ways we can bring business back is by predicting the future. By predicting the future, you'll be able to build a business around that future. Now, some of these things might sound like a negative, but if you learn to accept that they're going to happen, you can build a business to accommodate the future. Here is my quick list that I just wrote up. First of all, I honestly think universal income is going to become mainstream. The existing schemes that governments are doing all over the world to help people, furlough is what it's called in the UK, these schemes are presently at beginnings of universal income in my way of thinking. And with universal income will come an opportunity for you as an individual to think about what you want to do with your time outside of just earning a living. Now that creates huge opportunities in my view around things like art, creativity and freedom. So that's one thing to think about. The second thing I think is going to happen, again, this might sound negative, but it's not. I do think being a doctor is going to get replaced by a machine. I've already seen this technology where a computer can predict what's wrong with you closer to the truth than a doctor ever can. So a doctor actually gets it wrong 3 times out of 10 what's wrong with you, partly because they're tired, they've seen a lot of patients, and maybe they don't have the data points that a machine would have to predict what's happening in an area at that real time in that moment. So machines are going to replace doctors. But again, if you know this, you can think about what the future could look like and how you can be a part of it. I've written down that I think there's going to be a time when we can download skills. Whether it's next year, it might not be that quick, but it's definitely coming. If you see what Elon Musk is doing with chips inside pigs' brains, downloading information direct into the brain, this stuff's going to happen. So maybe you can start working on the software so that 10 years from now, when those machines are ready, you have the software to download into people's brains. Robots are going to do all the deliveries. And I know that's also sounding like a negative, but again, if you think about what that means, that could be that you end up being the gas station or the service station for those robots, or you end up doing graffiti art on robots that make the robots cool, or there's some way to do advertising on robots that do deliveries. You know, like if you consider positive in what sounds like a negative change, you can take advantage of the future. I believe with all my heart that virtual reality travel is going to go mainstream. It's not only very expensive for people to go and experience the world, and many people don't get that chance to experience that culture, but in addition, I think travel's just generally getting harder for people to justify, especially if we have this ongoing nightmare that is the coronavirus. Virtual reality is just getting better and better. Again, if you can think about this as the future, you can build businesses and opportunities around this new world we will be living in. Finally, the last 2, I believe language translation will be instant. So I know there's a lot of people out there that teach language. I know there's a lot of people that are learning language. Maybe that will become a hobby. And for a lot of people, it is just that, an experience to learn a language. But actually needing to learn a language is going to become less important. These machines instantly translate. Now think what that could mean. On so many levels, that could mean huge change and huge opportunity. Finally, guys, again, this might sound weird, but I recently saw a piece of technology which is basically a toilet, and when someone went to the toilet in it, the toilet examined your poo and told you what nutrition you should have in your diet that you don't. It told you what to watch out for within your ecosystem inside your body. It literally could predict what's wrong with you, and I think that's coming. I think technology that we either swallow and sits in our digestive system, or instantly scans us, or examines our poo, will tell us what's wrong with us. Again, if you see this as a positive, you can think about the future, you can figure out what you could perhaps produce, create and make in that future. You could have a piece of that new world. So I hope you found my quick predictions useful. If you did, give me a like. If you feel like there's some interesting ones in there and you'd like me to answer questions about it, feel free to comment. Equally, if you know anyone out there that has a prediction you think we should know about and feature on our channel, then do let me know. And finally, hit the share button. Let's lift someone's day and give them some insight to what the future looks like, because it's not all doom and gloom. I know right now it's tough. Standing here in Camden, it makes me sad to see these businesses in this much trouble, but I am hopeful that a new future will come for these business owners, for these businesses, and for us all. Instantly translate. Now think what that could mean. On so many levels, that could mean huge change and huge opportunity. I just looked left then, guys, because I thought Connor, my cameraman, was going to get hit by a bus, but he wasn't. Thank God that wasn't our future.